Okay, more exercises for Pooch belly. All right, what are we doing with the physio ball here, Swiss ball?
Okay, so we are going to do an oblique crunch over the Swiss ball, and we're gonna use the full range of motion so that we work the abdominals from the top all the way down to the bottom.
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah, so when people are doing their ab work off the floor, they are not getting a full range of motion. So we're gonna use the Swiss ball.
Now, real quick, what do you mean by not full range of motion? Is it because, because the floor is flat, right? So I can't go all the way back.
Exactly, but you can extend your torso 40 to 45 degrees this way to put everything on a stretch, then you can contract and roll forward. So you're gonna get an increased range of motion doing your abdominal exercises from the Swiss ball as opposed to the floor.
Excellent, so they're superior basically. All right, walk me through, what are we doing here with this?
Okay, so to do the Swiss ball crunch, you take a ball that is the right size for you. So that's why Sal's not demonstrating this one. This ball is a little small.
It's not because I suck at these.
He sucks at these. So your hips are on the ball and you're also resting your head on the ball. So I'm able to see upside down behind me. Now the only time you don't want to do this exercise is if it makes you dizzy, okay? So I'm gonna hang my head upside down here and I'm gonna place my fingertips behind my ears and I'm gonna take a breath in. At the top of my breath, I'm gonna hold my breath and activate TVA.
So now you're gonna pull in the midsection.
See that? Belly button draws down. Next step, chin to chest. Exhaling through my nose as I come up. 30 degrees of flexion is all it takes for your abs to be fully flexed. Okay, now if I wanna do an oblique crunch, I'm gonna angle my elbows toward one knee, staying scooped out here as best I can with the belly button drawn in, keeping the chin tucked as I unwind, and once my head is released all the way back, I'm gonna take another breath. So inhale, belly out.
So sticking the belly out. And
hold the breath, draw the navel down.
Excellent.
Tuck the chin. And I'm angling, so if my elbows were a picture frame, I'm looking right at my right knee, keeping the chin tucked, unwind. That way you're working the full range of the abdominal muscles and you're activating the TVA.
Excellent.
At the same time, you're working rectus abdominis and the obliques.
Now I have a couple questions here. So question one, when I've taught crunches on Swiss balls before, or the way I was taught, you know, it's like keep your head neutral, don't look back and create this length. Why are you doing that? What's the benefit of bringing the head back and getting that full extension at the bottom?
So the head, neck, and jaw are part of the flexor chain, right? So if you're supporting the weight of your head, you're not actually going to be strengthening those cervical flexors and other muscles that are related to the abdominal muscles. So by going back into a full extension and then pulling the chin to the chest, I'm strengthening those deep cervical flexors, and those are important for maintaining good posture of the head and shoulders.
Excellent, and a lot of people don't realize, you called that that's the flexor chain.
Yes.
It's all connected. People don't realize this, like it's all connected in the front and the back, and if you isolate one area and don't integrate other parts of that chain, you actually change what's called the recruitment pattern, and you make it less effective. Believe it or not, it becomes less effective. So this is a correctional exercise, so we want to do it in a way that's going to correct the most. And in this particular case, getting that full extension with the head back and then coming forward, that's the best way to do this. The other thing that you did that I think is very important to highlight is at the bottom of the rep, when you were wrapped around the ball, you blew your belly out. You breathed into your belly and expanded it.
Yes.
Then before you came up, you squeezed it in or sucked it in and then came up.
Yes.
How important is that for working the Pooch belly?
Oh, it's incredibly important. You have to draw in that TVA. What a lot of people do when they do their abdominal exercises is they just push everything out as they come up. And while they're working the more superficial muscles, that deep core muscle, that most important core muscle, if you're looking at all the abdominal muscles, is not activated.
Okay.
So it's very important to keep that navel drawn in as you're coming up in that position.
Excellent. Now, are there any cases where you don't want people to go full extension? Like if,
yes,
okay.
Absolutely. So if somebody gets dizzy when they hang their head over the ball, that would be an indication that this is not a good exercise for them. In addition, if a woman has diastasis recti from a pregnancy where there's a herniation through the fascia, overextending in that back bend position can make the problem worse. However, working the oblique muscles is very important in correcting and bridging that gap to correct diastasis recti.
Excellent. So when people have that, oblique crunches, are very important. So when they're doing this, do they just not go all the way back then? They stop just short of that full extension?
They could do it off the floor, just as a modification, or they could go over to the front side of the ball so that they're not in so much of a back bend, or they can work it standing, doing things like wood chops, and things that will bring them more into flexion without risking making the herniation worse.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Stefanie.
welcome.
We post a new video every single day. Subscribe to this channel. Also, go to mindpumpmedia.com where we offer 30 days of coaching for free.